Welcome. I don't know. I'm just doing Kermit the Frog here. Welcome to the OC bitches.
Welcome to the OC bitches. No, that wasn't like Kermit the Frog.
Who are you doing?
I don't know. I was trying.
It was like a mixture of Gonzo, Fozzie, and Kermit. I don't know what. Anyway. We're going Muppets, apparently, because we wrapped season 3, and clearly that is what happens. We go Muppet.
Frogs.
We wrapped season 3.
We wrapped season 3.
Oh, wait. This is not a joyous Muppet moment.
Doozy.
Shit.
Sorry.
We wrapped season 3, and still reeling from the final moment. Now, okay, you guys, all right, I'm jumping ahead. I'll get to that later. We decided to bring back our favorites and OC experts, Ryan, Haley, and Michael Gravagno from the OC Disorder podcast to break down the best moments of season 3. Hopefully they added summer this time. Welcome back, Ryan and Mike. Our first question is, did you get through your rewatch of season 3?
Yeah, I mean, we have at our lair, we have 26 TVs, so we watched all episodes at once.
It was really easy.
It took us 44 minutes, and we were out of there.
That's a lot of us.
No, season 3 is today. We're here to talk about why season 3 was great.
Yeah, we're season 3 defenders. Let's say
You're season 3 defenders.
I'm a season 3 defender. Josh, what did Josh say when you first mentioned it to him? He said something like, "I wish it would just go away." Like he has some issues
with season 3.
Issues.
there are diamonds in the roughage.
Yeah, there's a lot of good moments.
And you are going to point them out.
Can I just say something? Ryan is wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles t-shirt. And it reminded me of a story when we were at Peter Gallagher's in Connecticut for Capture the Flag, and everyone was there.
Delightful.
That we played a pot smoking game that everybody, because I don't smoke pot, but I got stoned with you guys.
Pot smoking?
And the game was you had to pick a subject and you had to talk about it as long as you could. Stoned.
Nice.
So Brody won.
So that's inventing podcasting.
Somebody said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you went on this monologue about them, and
eyes rolled in the back of her head.
Knew every name. Do you know them now?
Yeah.
No big deal.
But you won the game because of the Ninja Turtles.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's just because I'm so competitive that whatever I was saying, I made sure to talk the longest.
No.
As you know, I'm competitive, as we discussed last time with Anna and Summer. I am very competitive, and I love the Ninja Turtles. Michelangelo was always my favorite.
Yeah. Well, when I opened my mouth, I literally went, and they said, "You lose," and move on.
You know nothing about anything.
I didn't.
Move
She
on.
was just stoned. She doesn't do well stoned.
So in a pot smoking game.
Wait, did I redeem myself from like the Star Wars stuff because I know the Ninja Turtles?
We're still working.
Well, right now you just said you know them, and you've said one of them, the most famous one. So who knows?
Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael.
Okay.
Guys, they're named after famous artists. Hello.
But you had a whole theory on
and
them.
Splinter is
Anyway.
I had a dog, Thurman Merman, and he reminded me of Splinter.
Thurman Merman from Bad Santa?
That's who he was named after.
Was he like a
Am I gaining points right
You
now?
are racking them up right now.
Okay.
This is, you know what, Katie, let's put more summer moments on the list.
She can play.
She's earned them.
She can play.
I can. Turtles in a half shell. Turtle power. Let's go. Number 1.
No, I'm not going anywhere. Look, she worked on this carnival every year at Harbor. Thanks for the trip down memory lane, but that is not my problem. Now get out of here. Ow! Hey, get your hands off of her. Another word, you're out of this school. Hey, don't touch her!
So season 3, I think our first big bad is Dean Hess.
Is that his name? Yeah, just the
What a
evil
jerk.
Jack
Dean.
Hess.
Even
What a
before we
jerk.
know he's illegally screwing a student, he's a piece of garbage. He
Yeah.
just
He is
hates the
he's-
stars of the show.
Yeah.
Having taught high school in my past life, you cannot touch kids the way
You
he's doing
cannot,
right now.
definitely not.
You
Other
can't touch
ways,
kids
maybe.
any of the ways he touches kids in the show.
Right.
He deserves to get hit, but this begins that cycle of like, Sandy's like, whoa, we
Yeah.
got to keep those fists of fury in your pockets.
Ryan's addicted to hitting.
My advice to any dean is to not touch any student, but specifically don't touch Marissa Cooper around Ryan Atwood.
Yeah.
That's the worst one.
I was bummed he left, like, fairly early on.
This is what we all thought principals were when we were in high school.
Yes.
Like they acted like this.
They
I
were.
wonder, who's the good dean who's been around since season 1?
Kim?
Dr. Kim.
Dr. Kim.
Yes, she's lovely.
The first like 6 episodes he's in made me very upset with Dr. Kim because I was like, Dr. Kim, you love these kids and you've given them second chances, but now you're like, I guess I'll let this new guy
But
do
he's
whatever.
he's the dean of discipline,
discipline.
because they brought in some strong arm.
He's the
New
dean
role.
of kissing my ass.
Yeah.
He's the
No,
kissing someone's ass.
He literally was just a villain, an
Yeah.
arch villain. And there was nothing.
Nothing redeeming.
When
No.
they introduce villains on this show, if they want to write, then they start showing some vulnerability. Because
Right.
even Taylor is supposed to be kind of fit the mean girl villain.
Mhm.
And once you start seeing the
Her
peel back the
backstory.
layers, then
Right.
then the
Her awful
audience starts
mother.
to like.
There's some number, like it feels like once you get to 5 episodes, like 4 episodes, you could be 2-dimensional. Once you get like Taylor was, and then that 5th episode, you become 3-dimensional.
And then there's 5 dimensions with Julie Cooper and the
Right.
porn and the trailer.
The end of the Dean is interesting too because Sandy blackmails him straight up,
That's what I was going to say. It's weird how he left, right?
Yeah.
and Sandy does what he has to do to get rid of him. But doesn't this also like foreshadow Sandy's sort of criminal downfall
wheeling and
in the rest
dealing.
of of like blurred lines and
Sandy used to care about all kids,
Yeah.
and I think maybe somebody should have sent Taylor to therapy or
Yeah.
like had a talk with her for fucking an adult who works at her school. Like,
Fair
Well-
point. Fair
Well,
point.
I don't know.
There's got to be
you-
some trauma there somewhere.
yeah,
How
Sure.
many times have I mentioned therapy?
yeah,
Mhm.
Therapy.
all these characters need it.
Number 2.
We will, if there's not in season 4, if we're lucky enough to be brought back for the season 4 top 10 moments, and there's not a Jimmy ass beat, we will create one because if Jimmy's getting his ass beat, it is on our top 10 list,
Oh
guaranteed.
my God.
This one was such an interesting one because it was so violent,
Yeah.
intercut with them having their first sex scene. I think the choice was, first of all, it's a montage and they might have been running out of time, but there's also just this beauty and tragedy, comedy and tragedy at the same time. Or
I like
Yeah.
how
it's the
you
yin
know,
and
she
yang.
really goes there and explains it as it should be.
Well, it's all the ways Marissa's growing into adulthood, right? She's having sex with Ryan.
She's gonna have to be the
and
dad
then
of the family.
her dad will leave for the 8th time, but for real this time.
It's also, if you look at the locations, it's in the ocean water and on the sand, which means they could be like 8 feet apart from each other for all we know.
Down the beach, out of
Which is-
earshot.
I never think
That's
that's
wrong.
good.
The unfortunate sound that will always turn Marissa on is the sound of her dad getting the shit kicked out of him.
Anyway, moving on.
I feel like this is where Taylor Townsend becomes a character.
And I would like to
Oh,
thank you all
fuck
for coming.
Taylor Townsend in this scene. She take credit for my dance.
Yeah.
does.
And
Bullshit.
has this
But
line of dialogue.
Watch it.
So this dance has been my baby now for quite a while.
Okay, she's taking credit for it.
I am going to kill her.
But there is one person without whose help none of this could ever have happened.
She's gonna.
Dean Hess.
See, no high school
Dick
students
Hess.
would applaud the principal.
No.
or the
Well,
dean
these
of
high
that.
schoolers are monsters.
He's
Wow.
new.
I'm going to kill the both of them.
And handsome.
I really liked
So
my
everyone
floral
have fun
hairdo.
because this really
It is.
is the end of summer.
Oh,
Good
shit.
Knife, just knife right to the chest.
Look at Rachel's face.
No.
Summer never ends.
Summer never, endless summer,
It's a
bitch.
documentary about
Yeah.
surfing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And getting munched.
I remember watching that and I was so mad watching. I was like, you're
You're really tied to your character, huh? Back then,
yeah.
you can't separate reality and fiction.
But the way she
No.
singles you out in the crowd
Yeah.
and just says, the end of summer.
What's awesome about Taylor Townsend
Brutal.
is it feels like Josh watched Election and was like, "Well, I want that Reese
Tracy
Witherspoon
Flick.
character," and
Yeah.
just puts it in here,
100%.
and she delivers those flickish lines very well.
They've admitted that they take from everything,
Yeah.
weder it's 90210, John
Spider-Man?
Hughes.
Oh, is there a Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
reference in the show?
Missed
What was
that. Missed that one.
Unfamiliar.
Oh, Taylor. I'm angry all over again, you guys. You really know how to ruffle my feathers.
Riding the cotton pony.
It's so gross.
So gross.
This is such a huge Julie moment of when she, like, I think she's fully retired to being a villain of the show. And throughout this season, we watch her grow and really become a good person and a great mom. Like,
However,
Unexpected.
as you write your
Right.
checks, I would ask that you make them out to the National Foundation for Substance Abuse. As it so happens,
Ooh, you got
your
her.
generosity
What was her
has
name again?
somewhat overwhelmed
Charlotte.
our small
Charlotte.
organization.
one of the other
And with
just
the National
pure
That's one of my
villains.
Network,
favorite
your money will
dresses
go
too.
a
Well,
lot
and that's the
further.
thing. As Julie,
And still be tax deductible.
well, and she's made the decision to actually
So, thank you. very
protect
much.
Kirsten
Right.
and not screw her over because she's gone through so much and she doesn't have anyone else. And well, and actually the best part of that is when she says, oh, this town's really only big enough for one manipulative bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, could you not
Bye,
hear me?
honey.
What'd you guys think of the whole Charlotte storyline?
I love Jerry Ryan.
Yes.
I'll stay there.
Leave it at that.
Favorite Ryan?
Jerry Ryan is my favorite Ryan I've ever met.
Shit. I just think the Charlotte storyline maybe went on a little too long.
I agree.
But here's why it's important. You ever been like driving down the freeway like an asshole, and then somebody drives even worse than you, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be nicer while I drive." Julie couldn't have made that turn that she does without a worse Julie coming in,
Right.
and Julie seeing, "Oh, this is what I look like. That's why I'm gonna
Snaps.
change."
How are you an asshole on the freeway?
I just drive fast, drink a
He
lot.
loves being right on the bumper of somebody else.
Yeah. I mean,
Just giving him we call him Volchok at home.
Also,
Just kinda bumps.
I feel like all problems are solved when you lay on the horn and don't let up. It's just fun for the whole freeway.
yeah. I mean,
I thought you were gonna say for the whole family.
if you drive in Southern California, you're going to be an asshole in the car at one point in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Right, if
I
not
think
more.
Julie needed that comparison, you
Yes.
know?
yes.
Well, and I think yes, and as Julie gets more vulnerable and more likable, somebody else has to fill those villain
Right.
roles.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because that creates a vacuum.
Yeah.
It creates a power vacuum that somebody has to come in and do stuff.
And it's the osmosis of villainy. Somebody's going to fill in. It feels like early in the season, they're just like shotgun blasting, like, here's 8 new villains. We'll figure out who sticks.
Right.
Like, it takes a while.
right. And then as Julie went into, we commented on the fact that we see the happiest Julie ever is when she's in the trailer with her
Yeah.
daughters when they're all together, and she's like whistling and she's happy. And then, obviously season 4, she starts doing a couple other things that are questionable and could, I guess, fit the role of villain, but that's just a woman in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead daughter writes a lot of checks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can do a lot of stuff.
I think there's a lot of excuses. And at this point, we've seen.
That's a quote. That daughter writes a lot
daughter
of
writes a
checks.
lot of
That
checks.
daughter
Sorry.
writes a lot of checks.
What was that? Oh, we've seen Julie's vulnerability and in so many situations. So if she's doing questionable things, we now
Right.
there's a lot of forgiveness there.
Right.
Where Charlotte has none.
Right.
How's none?
No. And she's not a very good grifter either.
Yeah.
No, she
I don't
sucks.
understand how she got away with some of the things she got away with. Yeah. Like how she gave Julie the condo, how she,
Right.
yeah, there's just a few little.
Little holes.
holes.
Throughout
Right.
the whole 6 episodes, you see her say like, I don't know, let's do this then. And then change the whole plan.
Yeah.
I'd like to say we're about to move on to number 5. I also can see 5, 6, and 7. We have yet to have a summer moment.
No, this is the end of summer. That's
Yeah,
that's
you're
the
right.
summer
That is
moment.
not. That was a Taylor. That was not a summer.
I
That
feel
does
like
not count.
they equally share that moment.
That
Yeah.
was the end of summer. Ironic. Say goodbye to last year's outdated, disorganized methods of managing your money and say hello to Rocket Money, the better way to hack your finances in 2023. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place.
I love to use Rocket Money to track my spending, and it gives you a breakdown of your finances to see where your money is going and how to improve. And the managing your subscription feature is a massive game changer.
I agree. I had no idea how many subscriptions I thought I had canceled and realized I have not. And apparently I'm not alone. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, like that streaming service you bought to watch just one show on, or that free trial that you never even used. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want.
And Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as a click of a button. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel. And Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth.
Stop throwing your money away, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/OC. That's rocketmoney.com/OC, rocketmoney.com/OC.
I love my pup, Lucy. And she is actually getting up there a little bit in doggy years. And I just want to make sure Lucy's getting the best nutrients possible. So I heard about Sunday's dog food. Sunday's is an air-dried dog food made from a short list of human-grade ingredients, co-founded by Dr. Tori, a practicing veterinarian.
Sundays contain 90% meat, 10% vegetables, and 0% synthetic nutrients. Besides USDA beef and all-natural chicken, you'll find digestive aids like pumpkin and ginger, plus disease-fighting antioxidants. Dog parents report noticeable health improvements in their pups. Who doesn't love that for our pups?
Lucy is actually really picky and she's almost even dainty with her food. So I was so surprised. She just gobbled this up. She loved it.
She loved it.
She loves it.
I have a hard time feeding my dog Gertie. She has skin issues. She's a little high maintenance.
Yeah.
So I need to know that there's no crap in what I'm giving her.
Yep.
Not only was this easy, there's like zero prep, zero mess. She actually really likes it.
We worked out a special deal for our dog-loving listeners. Get 35% off your first order of Sundays. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/theOC or use code TheOC at checkout.
That's sundaysfordogs.com/TheOC. Upgrade your pup to Sundays and feel good about the food you feed your dog. Number 5.
I'm getting nervous.
Oh, now speaking of the trailer.
This is awesome. I love all of Julie at the trailer
And she
park.
still has
It's
her
shot like a horror
Louis-
movie.
Yeah. With the handheld, like
It
Blair
is.
Witch.
Yeah.
And she's got her Louis Vuitton.
Doing it all herself. Oh, yeah.
And the
Don't forget the, like, what is that? A telephone? What is that?
There should have been a tumbleweed that rolled by.
Oh, excuse me. Could I get a little help over here?
I ain't no bellman, lady.
How charming. I take it you're my landlord?
Yeah, I'm Gus. Welcome to the Taj Mahal.
I feel like Gus needed more.
A spin-off show.
Yeah.
It feels like he was there a lot, but we only saw him a couple times.
I feel like it was a
Because
really
we
missed
talk about him.
opportunity. Don't you feel like
Yeah.
Gus?
Plus,
had
a lot of times
whole-
Julie thinks it's Gus at the door, but it's
Right,
somebody
that's
else.
what it
So
is.
that's where the best lines come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although my favorite Gus moment, he's actually in when Julie and Kirsten walk out of the trailer, and he's just taking a leak right there by the door. Classic Gus.
I like the one where he goes, "Hey Julie," she goes, "Got a gun, Gus. See ya." That's cool. He goes, "That's cool." No, it was definitely a cute
Yeah, more
a cute
Gus.
addition.
You know what? I would have allowed many more Gus moments in lieu of summer moments. That's how I feel about Gus.
Well, good. There's more Gus moments
Yeah.
coming
okay,
up.
good.
then.
Okay.
I do want to talk about Julie in the trailer park and why she's so happy there. I think it's especially because in our time we did season 1 top 10 pretty recently. We see when Jimmy is getting his ass beat. She doesn't give a shit. She's just like, oh no, what does this look like? I feel like by the time she's in the trailer park, she no longer cares what anything looks like, and she's just like, oh, I love my kids, which is the first time it seems like Julie's thought that. Like,
Right.
Well,
right.
she tried to cover it all up, right? And then when she found out that she was still accepted, and she
Right.
actually has friends, and she doesn't. And then when she finally tells Marissa, and she's like, "Mom, it's okay. I'll
Yeah.
come live with you." And now they're all living together, and she's still. You have to experience that. Her worst fear is that she's going to be, homeless, or
Right.
or her fear is she's going to be in a trailer, and she realizes, actually, I'm okay.
Yeah.
and
You
it's the
know?
best they get along. Like
It's
Marissa and her are tight until they move back to a mansion.
Right.
There has been more summer moments than there has been Johnny Harper moments so far in this countdown. Let's just say that. And I think with Johnny Harper, which doesn't work as a storyline. Okay. What they tried to do is they tried to calm down Oliver and intermix Oliver and Ryan Atwood.
Because
And
they even
so-
give him his own Seth.
Yeah. He has Chili his own Seth.
Who
and-
literally was Brody's friend in real life.
Right. And
Chili.
and so Oliver's too gun crazy. And so let's give him some Atwood cool. And it just sort of deflated the character.
You know what? That's a good point.
That
He
is a
was
good
supposed to.
point.
They called it the Bizarro Seth and
Mhm.
the version of Ryan because he's supposed to be from.
Do you think it was casting, or do you think it was
I think the guy did the best he could.
story?
No, I think
And-
Ryan's a lovely actor. I think there.
Although you
is-
guys call him Tiny Tim all the time, which
It was said on
that
the
was
show.
Summer said it.
Oh, did I?
Summer said it in the show.
I said it on the show.
He's a whiny character.
He is a
This
bit
isn't
of
the
a-
actor's fault. He's a whiny character. He's just like, why doesn't she like me?
Yeah,
'Cause
it
you
was
talk like that, bro.
It's a really tough character to play.
Yeah.
Like no one can pull that off. They're-
Mike and I have a lot in common with the actor Ryan Donahue because when people walk up, they say, "You're Ryan, and I don't know who you are."
Uh-huh.
You're the famous one.
I thought of that on the way here.
and we tried to dissect this. Does she, when Caitlin is like the pot stirrer / truth teller,
Mhm.
you like him, but she doesn't necessarily have romantic feelings. But Marissa's finding out about herself is that she does like to rescue.
Right.
She
Wounded
does
bird.
like to, what she's finding is someone as beautiful as her. If she gives attention to young men, they're going to fall in love with her.
Yeah.
The other thing that's important too is that the major way it's not a direct Oliver recreation is I believe that Marissa was never in love or in like with Oliver.
right.
But she says and does some things where she really was falling for Johnny.
Yes.
Not as hard as he falls
You
here.
think that
but-
she was actually falling for
Yeah,
Johnny?
because like if you look at her when she's after this, she's got the 2 necklaces, and she puts the Ryan one underneath the Johnny one and pulls the Johnny one up to look at it, and she keeps getting asked, "Do you like him?"
Yeah, and she can't answer.
she can't answer.
won't- It's pretty easy to say no if you mean it.
When they finally break up, they're like, "This just isn't working." Like,
Yeah,
and
it's
and
so
Ryan
adult.
has met Nikki Reed's character, and he's like hanging out with her, and he's feeling better with her, and they both have this like it's just not working moment.
And Ryan clicks so much more with Sadie,
Yeah.
you know. And Ryan and Marissa haven't clicked in a long time, and Marissa clicks more
Or
with
ever.
Johnny.
But Johnny's dead.
Johnny's dead, and that's hard to click with somebody when they're like that.
I mean,
But
it's kind of hard when
before,
that
I think
happens.
when Johnny was alive, Marissa was like, kind of like them both, as
Yeah.
opposed to Oliver, which she was just
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know that I ever saw like fully convinced that Marissa was into Johnny. It was confusing because she's done it before, right? Like she does this. This is her thing.
This is her thing.
It's definitely her thing. But I mean, I totally get what you're saying, and it does make sense.
I don't think they were necessarily trying to recreate Oliver. I think they were trying to recreate another Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, yes, they are following another guy with the that is obsessed with her. That part of the Oliver storyline, but literally someone who's just as good as Ryan, and I don't think it worked.
Which
He's not as good as Ryan.
Right.
Like
Never will be.
never will be because
Right.
he's not. He is whinier. He is a little more selfish. Ryan, he has anger issues, but he does want to do better for other people. He will self-sacrifice for the good of other people. And Johnny
Yeah.
does that in the most selfish ways. Like, no, I don't need help. Which is if you say it like that, people are going to try to help you.
And he says that while he's making armpit fart noises. Like the thing about Johnny too, like we spent years with Ryan at this point.
Mhm.
They try to rush through the Johnny stuff. So
They
they're
did.
like,
They did.
I'm gonna go fight him because I'm a fighter. Hey, I fight people. And then, here's what happened in my past. My dad and I beat up my dad with a bat. Like we don't
Right.
experience any of that.
Yeah.
We're told,
That's
not shown.
right.
So we're not
And that-
invested.
well, yeah, there's no investment there. So when we get all the screen time with him, it's hard to not, and it's not the actor's fault. It's just hard not to wonder where's the characters we are invested in.
Right.
Why are we spending time with
Well,
him?
and then I
Right.
saw a quote from Josh talking with Alan Sepinwall, and
Yeah.
it's an interview you can read. And he did say in season 3, all of us writers looked at each other and said, "This is not the Johnny Chili show,
Right.
Mhm.
where we need to focus back on our regular cast."
Mm.
And the problem is with the issues with season 3, I think, are that, and I think you guys talked about this, how Schwartz thought it was becoming too soapy and not making fun of soap. So let's ground it. But the way that he writes shows is that it's soapy and funny all at the same. He
Right.
can't not do that.
Right.
So then when he tried to ground it, he lost some of that from season 2, you know?
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, and he was being pulled in different directions. There was going to be an Anna spin-off show.
What?
Anna?
No, sorry. Well, no,
She's
there
gonna get mad again.
Excuse me?
Why
No,
couldn't
no, no.
Summer get a spinoff?
No, there was talk of an Anna spinoff. Sorry, it was Willa at boarding school.
Oh,
Sorry, not
sure.
Willa. Caitlin at boarding school. There was one show that was like we heard about. Yeah, that was going to go. The episode where Johnny dies. You've got Julie and doing her shenanigans, spying on Neil.
Right.
So
Right.
that you've got to have that balance of the comedy and the drama.
And in a show that kills a lot of characters, like so many are not allowed to just like leave and be fine. We don't care. We don't care about Johnny. It's not that melodramatic because everybody's just like, yes, Johnny's done.
Well, when he died, I was like, I didn't really feel anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, like when Caleb passed, it was really sad.
Mhm.
Right.
That was
If-
our first step.
If you want to feel something, watch his fall in reverse, and he just has this mad jump up onto the top of the cliff.
Whoa, extreme.
Yeah.
Ryan Atwood saves the.
And I feel bad talking so much shit because Ryan Donahue himself is so like lovely and awesome and nice, and it's a really hard character because
Mhm.
it was
Yeah.
really hard. But my point, even when we were watching it, was why is Ryan Atwood the
Yeah.
one up there with him?
That
like,
I mean, Atwood has to be the police fire department for everyone.
But I love Johnny's response. He's like, "You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is-
You? No.
yeah.
Nope. Yeah. So you can show Marissa what a great guy you are.
But that's what was going to happen. Like he was going to save Johnny, and then Johnny's going to look
He
like the
was right.
victim, and Ryan was
Yeah.
going to look like the hero.
Right.
Oh.
I cannot wait to hear why this is on your top list. Kirsten takes death to an AA meeting.
We don't get a lot of Seth and Kirsten until the end of the season 3, and this is such a sweet moment, and he's a real piece of shit in a real grounded teenage way. Like, he's like, I thought we were going to the movies. Like, he hates it.
Yeah, he bails, and she has to bring him back, and he's just not ready to confront this part of his mom's life.
Right. But I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, you don't really see real moments with Kirsten and Seth, like his mother and son.
Throughout most of season 3, they're roommates, essentially. Like, they just live in the same house.
And at some point, we didn't get a lot of Kirsten's storyline at all.
Right.
Yeah. And Kelly is just so
Such
phenomenal.
a proficient actress.
Yeah, so you watch and you're like, damn.
Is she British?
And he was right.
No.
Canadian.
It's like British
America's
light.
British, yeah.
British Columbia. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she doesn't chew the scenery, but she owns that scene. Like, and it's so subtle and awesome.
Well, and it's also a reminder because that storyline was so powerful, and then we go through so many episodes where it's not mentioned, and we have to bring back like, this accomplishment that she's been on this journey,
and it makes what happens after more tragic. That her and Sandy's issue, she's like, well, I guess I'll fucking drink more wine then. Like, and you're like, no, you just had that great moment with Seth.
And most shows will just do the dramatic part,
right,
and then move away. Not show the recovery part, the coming out of it,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, although it's an interesting thing, for Kirsten. She's like, when I'm going to take a drink because of you, Sandy, which is it's still on her though.
Yeah.
It's still on her.
It feels real vengeful. Yeah. Like, you pissed me off, so I'm going to do this, and that's your fault. And I think they deal with that where he's like, come on.
Human beings are responsible for our own triggers.
Yeah.
Like, no, the world is going to trigger you. You got to be responsible for your own triggers.
I also, so the scene in that episode, a few scenes before, Kirsten and Seth just go to the movies and they're like, they say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, in a like meta type thing. And he even blows off Summer. I'm sorry. He even blows off Summer. She's like, you want to hang out? He's like, I'm going to hang out with my mom. And like, that's so adorable and sweet. Like,
Plus, he's found a wine cup. She's passed out in the bed, and Seth finds that. So it gets bad.
Now
It's
we're
crazy.
jumping all around.
So let's go to number 8.
This is the Adamist Seth moment, I think, of the season.
And Summer's drunken speech is great.
Is this what you're like when you're drunk?
Yes.
Yeah.
I fall off of fake ships.
But who did this stunt is amazing. There's something about that whole set that reminded me of like Phantom of the Opera or something. It was very
the chandeliers
theatrical.
She probably just needs a moist washcloth, or maybe like a towelette. What? Is there a towelette clause?
A moist washcloth, or maybe like a towelette.
Sucks. Does anyone have a towelette?
It's so hard to not walk around your house saying that after with the
That's
head
him,
shake.
right?
Yeah,
That's Adam, not Seth.
That is Adam, not Seth, 100%.
So in my house now, we never say napkin, paper towel. We just say towelette. Give me a towelette.
Does anybody have a towelette? That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, that does trump me falling off the stage. I agree.
So here we go to number 9. Brian goes crazy on the Volchok.
How do you guys feel about Volchok?
Now he's a true villain.
He's a true villain. It's interesting.
But he's hot.
Those abs. And have you seen Burlesque? He's in Burlesque, and he's always just in a vest and a little bowler hat. It's a terrible movie, but he's such a fucking hottie in it. I got distracted by thinking about his abs.
No, we're just talking about this, like how it was started, like this character. I don't know. I kind of believe it, because he defended Johnny and just like what's the word when you just cold cock somebody?
Sucker punch.
Bitch
Sucker
slap.
punch. Yeah, he sucker punched him. Well, just he shows up and just punches him on the beach, I guess. And he was like, I will never let this go.
Yeah.
Because
And he
he threw
doesn't.
a kitchen sink at somebody once.
For me, watching it at the time, I never got over him and Marissa hooking up. That was what knocked him out for me forever.
For disliking him?
Yes. Do girls like the abs? And I heard they like where it kind of looks like pizza dough. You're covered in pizza
they
dough.
always be on a roly-poly belly.
Please don't touch me there.
Okay.
But it's what's interesting with Volchok is you see moments of him trying, like she mentions Sound of Music and he makes fun of Marissa, but then he's passed out and she sees he's rented it. Like he's trying and it eventually he's like, I'm not good enough, so I will kill the world.
He fucking stole that. There's no way Volchok applied for a rental card and then rented that from
He
Blockbuster.
went to Blockbuster.
Yeah. The other Ryan Goes Crazy moment from season 3 is under the pier where Ryan's not allowed to fight.
Yeah,
so he
yeah,
grabs
yeah.
the bottle and
Right.
smashes it and like
Yeah.
acts crazy. That's iconic too. That's how Mike and I handle all fights between each other.
Yeah.
We just have to keep
But do you
finding bigger
believe-
glasses to break.
But do you believe Volchok actually would have backed off though? I always had a hard time with that.
I do, because Volchok was more realistic then and became more of a villain.
Yeah.
Like, he's scheming towards the end. Like, he is villainous. But
Yeah.
back then he was a punk kid with a
So it was like the legend was bigger than the reality.
right.
Right. And that's how some guys act. Right.
And
Okay.
then that moment feels like created the villain Volchok, because he was just like a punk and a bully. And then I think he ran away with his tail between his legs because nobody likes a beer bottle coming towards them. And then he was like, I think he just stewed in that. He's like, I'm going to get him back. I'm going to get them all back.
Okay.
I'm so glad for Ryan's sake that it broke. Because if that was me, it wouldn't have broke.
It
I would
bounced out of the
have stood
hand
there
and
like
you
an
just
idiot.
run off.
Yeah.
Bottles are hard to actually
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
I've tried to
experience
do
with
it.
this?
Yeah.
Why?
Volchok
That's
attacks her.
it was a big fight in high school. All these guys were fighting my friends, and I took a
bottle?
hit a bottle.
Did you
Didn't
break
Just bounce off somebody's head.
That's still also
Basically.
distracting, and I'm sure they were like,
Yeah, this guy
they stopped fighting
This guy
and
was
laughed.
literally beating my friend, and I had a bottle, and I was like, oh, and it didn't break.
Dink.
But yeah, no, there were some fights in high school when you're like, oh, I do not want to go back. That was in the OC, man.
How it's done.
We're on number 10. Hey.
Oh.
Oh.
So Summer's in this one, but we picked it anyway because it's the. This is, I think, the last time the core four were together, right?
Yeah.
I actually remember.
What?
I know. I remember
That's so
filming
rare.
this. And it was, look at how, like, the steam coming from the pool, because we're all like, that shit better be heated.
And yeah, I love that it's warm even though it's an abandoned house.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Well,
Somebody
yeah.
heated the pool.
Can I just say, picking people up and throwing them in an infinity pool?
Dangerous.
That's
A little
dangerous.
dangerous.
You don't know where it
We
ends.
live on the edge in the OC. What can I say?
What I love about this scene is like, so they're all having fun, happy, mirroring season one, but it's also like there's Summer and Ryan moments and they're joking around, and there's
Yeah.
Marissa and Seth moments and they're joking around, which is so rare throughout the entire show. It's like, well, they are a group of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all really were, and I know I've said this when we rewatched it, but we all really were playing and just having fun.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask you that about this scene and the. You guys
The death
take
scene?
You take the picture, like the graduation picture on the steps.
Yes.
It's just a montage of you guys
Yeah, we're fucking around.
like laughing and talking with no dialogue.
Yeah.
So you guys aren't acting, right? Are you guys
No.
just being Rachel and Adam there?
I'm always acting. No, yeah, it's just
You've never
we're just
done
It's
That's
messing
kind of
around.
it's kind of a thing that you do, and they say we're just going to roll the cameras, just hang out.
fuck
So
around. But
there
we
is
really-
kind of like forced, like
Yeah.
I'm saying a joke.
right.
I mean, there used to be something when I was very young. They'd tell you to say peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots, like you're talking. But no, you guys are probably just messing around.
We're just messing around.
They were just
For
screaming racial slurs at each other.
It was a different time.
you were allowed to
Terms
do
of
it.
endearment. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we do it. Oh, also, wait. The In and Out just appears when we're at the pool.
Yeah.
How did it get there?
Uber Eats?
DoorDash was not.
DoorDash
did
is
not
not there,
exist.
They paid some poor kid to bring it to them.
I love that our makeup department is so on it that they put that little tattoo back on Marissa's back.
I was gonna ask
Nice.
if that was a Misha tattoo or where did that
Because
come
it was
from?
from the storyline with
Alex.
Alex.
That's right.
I was like, oh, they're on it.
Did it wash off in the pool?
No, those are like daily,
Yeah, henna that lasts for a few days.
or just those things that
the rub-ons.
they're like for
Misha
2 or
actually
3
got
days.
the tattoo.
Really?
Damn, that's dedication.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Marissa forever.
Number 11 is the actual graduation.
This, like, the deaths never get me. It's this shit that gets.
Yeah,
this is
right?
the shit that makes me cry.
Because you're a dad.
Even before he was a dad,
You're
he
like-
had a dad bod and soul.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I love that Sandy says Sethi.
Yeah.
Has he
it's
ever said
no? It's so cute. Like you can imagine he said that to him when he was like 3.
Sethi.
Sounds like a baseball coach, a little league coach.
We've just seen them grow so much.
Oh yeah, they'd be right next to
Tony
each other.
Cooper,
Never
yeah.
thought about that.
She graduated.
Oh wait, I'm getting emotional.
I like that her speech is just woven throughout the names. That's how high school works.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And
They don't
she's-
waste time.
Summer.
There she is.
My
This
dad
is an
didn't even
adorable
stand
moment.
up. What the fuck, Dad?
Always adorable when the kid hugs the dean. Sincerely.
Don't let the bastards get you down.
Do you guys remember your walk across the stage or whatever it was?
I was so fucked up.
You were so fucked
Yeah,
up.
just on Molly. So no, I remember.
I didn't know if I graduated or not because I was not good at math, and my teacher wouldn't tell me if I passed.
They
He's
just
like,
told you
"You'll
your
find out on
GPA."
the stage if you open
That's
it
messed
and your
up.
diploma's in there. You passed."
Was it Dean Hess?
It was Dean Hess.
That sounds like a Dean Hess move.
I love the photos.
Aw. Yeah, that was a fun day.
Look at Ben. Looks a little like
Get away from me.
And then Ryan and Seth scream at each other.
Aw, this is sad. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, man.
I want a shirt of one of these, or maybe all of them just covered in.
That's a great T-shirt.
The Harvard School class of 2006.
2006.
Yeah,
Crazy.
graduated a year after me. These young kids.
Plus, based on what we know about this high school, it would be different than that, I think. Like celebrity speakers,
Right.
the Blue Angels flying overhead.
And I do like that there's only like 30 kids in the class. Like it's a small private school.
That's real. Yeah.
And the kids are such assholes still. Like before, earlier scene, they're all in their gowns, and one of the bullies, one of the water polo kids is like, "Why are you wearing a dress?" And Seth's like, "We're in the same gown." And she's like, "You admitted to wearing a gown." I was like, I forgot about those kids existing, and it just flashed me back.
That guy pops up throughout the entire season 3, right?
Yeah.
Mostly screaming stuff at Taylor.
I'm boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would
great.
get hit.
The
He would get
heckler.
knocked the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, here we are. Number 12.
How many times do we have to relive this?
It really feels like they put a lot of obstacles in Ben's way.
Why is there marbles on the ground?
He is the jaws of life.
Do you know what makes me real mad? And you can tell, Josh and Stephanie, I said this, is Marissa's about to grow and have a great time, go on a yacht life and learn. Couldn't we have just let her do it? Does she need to die? Like, it feels like she's done so dirty.
This is really hard to watch every time.
No. Stay.
Don't leave me. Do you think if he wouldn't have stayed and he went and got help, she would have lived?
No, I think she dies pretty quick.
Like, there was no time for him to go anywhere.
I think that's why she says stay. Like, it feels like the character knows she's out. Yeah.
The weirdest part would have been if while Marissa was dying or getting her ass kicked, it was intercut with Jimmy having sex with somebody. How messed up would that have been?
Oh, they really fucked it up. I mean, that's clearly what's missing here.
This whole season's about parallels.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
We can't deal with real emotions.
I just know, yeah.
More jokes.
The 3 months, the months after this were just like...
I don't know, guys. It's been like a couple minutes. I feel like Ryan could have found someone.
Yeah, or where are their cell phones? They both had to have the flip phones or sidekicks at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe they got destroyed in the giant car crash. There's a theory that Ryan wanted to become a cage fighter, and the only way that's happening is if he lets Marissa die.
It's true, though. Isn't that true?
He's
He
trying
think
actually
that's true.
tries to be a cage fighter?
Yeah.
This show really had some interesting turns.
I know. No. Can't believe
Wait,
it.
he's smiling at her?
No.
I can't. This is so hard.
Were the two of you stoked that there was such a leap between 3 and 4? Because that would have been
You're asking
so...
me as if I remember what happens in 4.
You were straight up crying.
There's it's like a 6 month at least.
But for the two of you, that would have been so much mourning, so many mourning scenes, you know?
Yeah.
I had about 3. It felt like 3 months, but it was 3 episodes of just solid, like, and then they kind of let it go.
Yeah.
Once she let it go. But there was times when I was just like, I just had a migraine. Like,
Yeah.
but you feel it, like you take it home with you. Yeah.
Is there reason, and maybe you don't have to if you're not allowed, is like, why couldn't she be happy? Why couldn't she just go yacht and learn about life and be
Go
okay?
yacht.
But at the time, it was pretty powerful.
Oh, super powerful. But a below deck spinoff of Marissa and Jimmy Cooper would have been delightful.
Right.
Oh, I would have gone. Summer would have left and
For
clearly
sure.
been on below deck med.
Right.
Also hired Gus. Gus is on the boat, too.
Gus is 100% on that boat.
Some sort of deckhand swabbing.
Oh my God. See? This is the spinoff we need.
I know.
Clearly.
That and OnlyFans.
Oh my God. That and all. Did you hear my idea? Oh, I already told you. See how quick the memory is just, dip, say it, it's gone forever.
Okay. Well, okay, let's move on to some honorable mentions.
Does Summer have one?
So you guys picked from episode 9, Seth and Summer compete for the Brown interview. Why did you pick this one?
Seth and Summer are doing really well this season. You know, they're like, their relationship is like kind of coasting. And so this is a moment where there's a lot of tension. And Summer has a tuba. So how are we not
Summer
going to
has a
do that?
tuba.
It's such a
all
funny
you have to
visual.
say, Summer has a tuba.
And it brings that goofiness back to them
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
haven't had in a
Yeah,
minute.
I'm not the one wearing a tuba.
Oh, that's really big talk from a guy wearing hoop earrings. At least I played the tuba. What, I do?
Also, Seth doesn't
Well,
call the
excuse
pirate
me,
costume
I
minty, which that's growth. He doesn't say that here.
Ow!
You just whack me with your tuba?
Did you just jab me with your peg leg?
It was a tap, you little whacker.
It was a jab, jabber.
Yeah, it's always fun when we do those things.
Yeah, a lot of
Play the tuba.
the Seth and Summer moments that are dramatic are apart from each other.
Right. They're
Yeah.
dealing
Shit that
with
they
it
go through is
separately.
apart. Together, they're kind of gelling.
Yeah, they
We're
got through it.
indestructible,
Mhm.
some might say.
Until you get distracted.
They were
Yeah.
so apart in season 2 that they have to keep them together.
Right.
For,
Yeah.
at least for
And
Because
that's
there's
hard-
so much chemistry. Like, it's fun to watch.
right.
I think it's hard for writers to be like, wait, you want this to be like a healthy relationship? You know? That sucks because
Yeah.
you guys were talking about how they said with Ryan and Marissa, that's never going to happen. Like they're never going to be on Easy Street.
No.
And Seth and Summer get half a season here where they're a good couple.
Right. I love that this is your last honorable mention because I thought this was absolutely delightful. Seth watching his bar mitzvah.
Poor Seth. It's pretty tragic, actually.
It's so sad.
It's so sad.
And then the other part of the scene, so it's like not one scene, is Summer and her dad talking about it, right?
Right. So,
Yeah.
when they're talking about the Chris McCoy bar mitzvah and like, it's a normal phrase. Summer and her dad are outside decorating a tree or something. And
Yes, we are. And
yeah.
you hear the story on why she actually didn't.
we don't know shit about Summer's mom up to that point.
Right.
Like we've never talked
Right.
about her. And Summer and her dad don't have that many moments. So they really open up and share.
Yeah.
He's cringing and in pain watching
Yeah.
himself.
This song is called That's What Friends Are For. It's for your friends.
Well, we're your friends.
Oh, Dad, don't say that.
Yeah. The worst thing you could say.
No one showed up. And you said Summer Roberts was
I
coming.
feel like Kirsten should have had a perm or something.
Yeah.
Just giant hair.
Yeah.
hate it here.
I hate it here.
What's wrong, honey? My rapid palate expander's killing me.
My rapid palate expander is killing me.
That's a Schwartzism.
You know what's important on that scene where he said that at his bar mitzvah, he's like, I hate it here. And he carried that narrative with him all
Yeah.
the way until he's got this Brown interview and he's totally freaked out about the fact that he wants to stay
Right.
in Newport all of a sudden. He doesn't want to mess with the reality that he has with Summer and Ryan and Marissa.
Mhm.
And he's scared to go. And I think that messes with him so much.
Oh yeah. It's just been a script he's running without reconsidering if that's still what he wants. And then
Based on his
he's-
13-year-old self.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That was a tiny 13-year-old.
It was a
I
very
know.
tiny 13-year-old.
He
Well,
was a
it
little.
tracks,
7.
so, you know. Yeah. He was 7 at his bar mitzvah.
Oh, man.
Bar or bot? Wait, bar
Bot
is
mo-
boy.
girl.
Yeah.
Bar is
Bar.
girl?
Bot
Bot-
is girl.
Bot
Bot
girl.
is girl.
Yeah.
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 Well, that was fun-ish.
Ish. Okay, thank you for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the
You know-
first time we've seen like Summer come out. Ish.
I will
Ew.
point out that there were 0 moments with me or Mike on this list too. So
Yeah.
we're right there with
Rude.
you. Summer.
After 4, obviously, when we're done, you will have had enough moments for us to...
Top 10 favorite moments from us
Yes.
guesting.
You guys are going to
Exactly.
talk over the podcast of us being on it.
Yep, we're going to talk over your podcast,
Yeah.
actually.
There's
The superhero one.
there's no moments where there's any quiet.
It's a
There's no way
wall
to
of
do it. Yeah.
sound. We take a real, is it Rick Ross type of producing?
But I should ask Mike, though, because this is the first time you've ever watched season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And how long did it take you to prepare for that?
To prepare, like how long
Like,
did
how
it
long
get
to
through?
watch it and to prepare?
I started in June. I started strong, and then it took a bit.
It's a hard one to
It's a hard one.
maintain.
Was it like,
Sure.
oh, God, I got to watch more Johnny?
It's yeah. Johnny was rough.
Really?
The beginning, and then there's Johnny, and then there's the end. And so Johnny took a while to get through, and then once he was gone, you're like, I could watch this. All right.
Did you know anything about the season at all?
I knew Marissa was gonna die.
Okay.
And that was kind of it.
Did you cry?
it maybe got dusty. I'm similar to Ryan in too many ways, but in one of them that the happy moments hit harder than the sad moments. So graduation, watching our kids grow up is hard.
Yeah.
I think it's important to say, though, that season 3 does not have any bad episodes. You know, like some storylines will go on too long. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, another Johnny scene. But in that episode, there's also 30 great scenes.
Right.
You know, so it's definitely worth watching.
Taylor Townsend trying to teach Seth and Summer about the Kama Sutra. Like, there's ridiculous, awesome moments.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of good, like, comedic moments, and the Taylor stuff, all of it is pretty fun.
I think at least there's a strong reaction. At least there's a reaction. Whether it's a good reaction or a bad reaction. It's when you just don't care anymore. But no, I actually am a fan of season 3.
Do you guys think season 3 gets more hate than Oliver?
Ooh.
Yes.
People were pretty hateful towards Oliver.
People were very hateful towards Oliver.
No,
I don't know.
I still think it was good. People hated Oliver, but they liked the storyline. I think the storyline was a good storyline.
And that's the kind of hate that it always happens with shows like we talked about before, where like people misconstrue their hate for the character, which is supposed to be there, with saying it's bad. And it's like, no, that means it's working.
Right.
And I think Josh has said that he's had to learn to, like, just because they're criticizing something doesn't mean that it shouldn't have been there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no such thing as perfection. And like a sign of a good piece of art is people are going to chew on it and bounce off of it and be like, it should have been like this. It means you're pushing the right buttons.
Right.
I'm going to have to push back on that, Mike, because I do think season 2 was perfection.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Season 2 is great.
Season 2 is like, well, yes.
Are you a fan of, we've talked about, of Zach?
Yeah, he's all right. I mean,
I will tell Cassidy you said that.
I'm more up on Zach than you are, for sure.
Tell him that somebody that he's never met said he was all right. I'm sure he's love that.
That's the most hurtful. What? Why was this information?
Why did you send
to
this to me? No, Zach is cool. Zach, puts Cohen in his place a lot, but it's not in a Luke way. Luke as a bully way. It's as like I'm actually going to challenge your intellect instead of just shoving you to the ground. And they had an awesome battle against each other.
I love how he was just so perfect, and the characters kept commenting on how perfect he was.
Right.
But underneath, he's a manipulative schemer.
Yeah, who sleeps with his nannies.
Right?
Or his
More than
tutors.
one?
Probably.
Look at
that guy.
Look, yeah.
All
Old
of the
girlfriends.
above.
Yeah, right. Man, that is so much fun.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Polish up on season 4. We will see you again soon. Thank you so much for listening. Follow, rate, and review Welcome to the OC Bitches wherever you listen to your podcast. If you like to watch us, check it out on YouTube.
And also, if people want to tune into what's going on with you guys,
they can at popfilter.co. Check out the Superhero Show where we watch and review every single live-action TV show based on comics, or Movie of the Year, which is also a show.
Finally, on the internet, there's a podcast where 3 white dudes talk about movies. So
That's what the movie has been looking for.
Wait, every superhero show, live action television?
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, bro.
Not movies. We
There's
started
a
when
lot.
there were like 4.
Like Supernatural. Oh, maybe that's not superheroes. Sorry, just kidding.
Based
Because
on
that went on
comics.
for 20 years.
Yeah.
But there are other comic ones like Arrow.
Arrow's
Yeah, we
also
did Arrow.
A lot of seasons.
So many seasons.
Riverdale, of course.
Riverdale,
'cause it's
Stargirl.
comic,
Because Archie
sure.
Comics, yeah.
You don't go
The
to
Walking
that, but you're
Dead.
right. Is that a comic?
Yeah. The
I'm
comic
your
was
favorite
dope.
person. I know this because I don't know Walking Dead's a comic, and I don't know
It's
other.
totally fine.
It's fine. Okay.
very good. Okay,
Thank you guys so much.
that's it.
Thank
course.
you. Yeah, it was awesome to see you guys.
Nice
fun.
to see you guys
And
again.
if you come back for season 4, it better be all summer.
It'll
Okay.
be the year of summer.
And if you only want one of us, Mike is cut for season 4. That's cool. We understand.
What?
Huh?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, bitches.
Welcome to the OC Bitches is brought to you by Cast Media. Executive produced by Colin Thompson, Harris Lane, produced by Katie Curtright,
Edited by Parker Flores and our technical engineers, Travis Holden and Dustin Park.